some parents made allegations that this program was sponsored by the county, which is not true. And I'm challenging every parent. And the beauty of the information I'm giving you, this information was not asked by any other officer. I personally did it myself in the briefing with parents. So no single parent of all those students will say we told them that the county will pay. We agreed with my members of county assembly that in order for this program in the future to support even children from very vulnerable families, we need to amend our County Education Revolving Fund Act to cater for overseas training. And we did that. Fortunately or unfortunately, of course, we were caught up with time of transition, and we would have naturally expected that the successive county governments would look at the act, and probably if there will be additional resources to counties in the future, sufficient resources, then the county would be able to even fund that program. Because of that interference with those parents, then there was modification of the requirements now from the Finnish universities and the immigration. And the immigration departments began now asking for bank statements from students to show their capacity for subsistence living while studying in Finland. We were able to engage the universities and the immigration, and the students were able to travel. In the initial start of the program, in our negotiation, we negotiated so that parents would pay only the first semester fee, which was 60% of the fees for the whole year. And the second semester fee would be 40%. And the work permit and the visa. And by that time, no bank statement was required from any student. And we also, at that point initially, there was no requirement for proof of payment for accommodation for university. The total cost of the program was to be fully covered by the parents, as I've said, and for students to get visa. The immigration, the Finnish immigration and the embassy required that as county government, we provide proof of payment of fees so that students can now go to the embassy for their visas. Therefore, during that time, we paid all the money to the universities, and universities provided a proof of payment, and that is what was provided to the embassy, and that is what enabled the students to get their visas, and that is how the students were able to travel to Finland. Now, in the course of that execution, people have been asking about this trust fund. Is it trust? Is it a county? Is it government? Is it private? Ladies and gentlemen, when you are elected to leadership, your role is to provide leadership and solutions whenever there are challenges. When we were running this program and we started, it is not only this county. We started this program with county government of Kimeumana, and you remember very well, the then governor of Kimeumana, when Governor told us, we had very good working relationship between the two counties. In Kimeumana County, we were able to process the first 28 students. But what was the challenge they experienced? Parents paid in funds to the county revenue account. And you know the process of getting money from the county revenue account, ladies and gentlemen, number one, it must be in the budget. Number two, you must requisition, and the controller of budget must approve. Now, considering that this is not a budgetary item, when the money was paid there, Kimeumana County had a difficulty in getting that money so that they pay the universities. What did we do as county government of Mzigo? We learned from that experience, and we asked ourselves, how are we going to make sure that these fees collected from parents, which is not government money, is going to reach the university on time? And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with universities and institutions that respect timelines. And we have no option ourselves, but also make sure we respect those timelines so that we become honorable people. In our wisdom, we decided to establish Uasin-Gishu County Overseas Trust Fund. Who are the trustees of this trust fund? They are the same members who are board members of the County Education Revolving Fund, who ran the daily operations of the program. They are the same staff that we seconded from the Department of the County Education Revolving Fund to run the program. So basically, as county, this was a county program. And the program was managed. And the reason we wanted to do that is to make sure that, number one, we are able to pay fees on time. Number three, we have officers who we can ask them, who are accountable to a government system. They are government employees, and we were mitigating on the risk of getting people who are not employees of government to run such program that was core and centered to us in terms of helping the youth. We were able to run that program smoothly. But in the course of time, people realized that this program is getting very successful, and some agents actually wanted to interfere with the program because they wanted to run this program. Tampere University, we were introduced by an agent called Max Globe. And we worked with them until the student was. But in our agreement, I was very cautious as the government. Because we said, we shall pay you your agency fee, but we shall never allow you to handle the issue of school fees. You are all aware that when the petitions were being submitted at the county assembly, they are busy asking parents to pay fees through their institution. Something I guarded against because we needed to protect parents' money. And I thought in the best interest of the county and the parents, let the trust run the funds. Members of the trust are members of the County Education Revolving Fund. The people who run daily operations are staff members of the county government of Uasin-Gishu. In terms of accountability and getting people to account and progress, in my best understanding and knowledge, that was the best decision that we did at that time. Now, the gist of the petition that was supplied to County Assembly. Part of the things they asked in the petition is to say, parents were not supposed to pay fees. I have repeated here, and I want you to ask those parents. And I know you have their names. And I want you to call those parents and their colleague parents in the same class who attended the same sensitization, because it is not possible that a set of parents heard that we were paying fees and another set of parents heard that they were not paying fees. It's not possible. I mean, this was broad daylight and everybody understands. Now, what triggered some of the issues that put the program almost in jeopardy? When we transited, gentlemen, and you know the program was running, and this is a county, and county is perpetual. The new administration, whether through the officers or themselves, wrote to the university, making inquiries. And the universities, particularly Tampere, responded to that email. And I wish, I don't know whether my staff here at the Senate office can be able to get that copy so that you understand. We have never known the contents of what they wrote to the university, but at least we have a response of an email that was written. It was alleged it was written by the Deputy Governor, but the Deputy Governor has since said he never wrote. But the reply of the email was copied to the Deputy Governor and the officers who are running the program. Gentlemen by that time had already left. The breakdown of the students that we took to those universities. In Stanford University of Applied Science, we had a degree program for nursing. The degree program had 50 students. And we had a physiotherapy program that had 25 students. We had a course called Practical Nursing. It took 26 students. And we had a course for welding. When some activists go out there making allegations that we told the parents that students are going to do aeronautical engineering, gentlemen, at least I understand the difference between aeronautical engineering and welding. Do welding. And already the batch of welding students have already graduated. We had a second university called Uvascular, who took 25 students for degree in nursing. All those I've talked about are students who are already in Finland. We had LUT University that took students for degree program, 25 students. Then we had Laurea University of Applied Science. It took 154 students for a degree in nursing. They are already in Finland. 78 of the students for degree of nursing in Laurea University are still in the country. Metropolia University of Applied Science took 15 students for ICT. The students are still in the country waiting for visas. Then the seventh university is Gracia University, Gracia Vocational Training Consortium, that took students for practical nursing, 48 of them, they are awaiting visas. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you are aware that the term, and my term as the governor of this county, ended after we had the elections of 2022. And I handed over the reins of power as a governor to the next administration on the 25th of August 2022. And part of the things we handed over is this program, because it was squarely falling under the Department of Education, Youth and Sports. When we handed over on the 25th of August, the cash in the bank, and we are not talking about Wakale Bank, we are talking about Tier 1 bank in this country, Kenya Commercial Bank. Account number 128, 59 22 778. The amount of money that was in that account on that day was 37,529,329.06. I will give you a certified copy of the bank statement, so that when somebody says there was only 1 million in the account, then they have to produce their own bank statement. And while I'm there, let me revisit an issue that occurred in between there during the petition by parents. There was a bank statement that was circulating in the media. That bank statement of this account was printed at KCB Moisbridge branch by a collusion of some board members and a staff in KCB. The people who printed the statement are not authorized signatories of that account. Those who know themselves and prevailed upon Kenya Commercial Bank not to fire that staff, they know themselves. So it is them to explain what was their interest in trying to edit bank statements, yet we can get original bank statements. And you see, DCI can always get copies of these accounts when they want. EACC will get. In the same bank, we had funds that had been placed in students' accounts in the same bank, but locked up funds amounting to 67,200,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I left office, the total amount of money in the trust accounts and students' accounts locked up amounted to 104,729,329.6. When people make wild allegations and say Mandago took the money, all of you operate in this county and you operate bank accounts. If you can't get $1 million without explanation, even when you get a loan from the same bank, and once the money is in your account and you want to withdraw, you will be asked to explain what the money is going to do. How possible is it that you can withdraw 104 million? Gentlemen, you know it is good to be truthful. This information is available. The county has. They are the ones running the program. But the bank statement showing 37 million, and even the bank statement showing when the money was placed for student accounts, certified copies, totaling to 67,200,000. I will avail to you copies so that those who say they are the millions, you want to give million in the account, can then tell us. So when I left, where did the rest of the money go? We had another program, ladies and gentlemen, following the success of that Finnish universities program. And I want to say at this point in time that I'm grateful to the Finnish universities for giving Kenyan students opportunities. Because those students who are already there are studying and have better opportunities. But on the issue, so that before I go to the Canada program, or maybe I go to the Canada program so that I can finalize with that. These are Thompson Rivers, Northern Lights, Stanback College. And parents, again, mobilized resources. We had 4 students who went to Thompson Rivers. We have 12 students who went to Northern Lights. And we have Stanback. We have 19 students who went to Stanback University. Later in October, when I had left office, because the parents had already paid the fees and the students were able to travel. These parents or students who traveled to Canada paid fees during my tenure. They all traveled and they are all in the universities and colleges studying. I am aware, ladies and gentlemen, that we have a serious problem of students who have not traveled for the overseas students. And parents recently protested. And people have been asking, why is the senator silent? I think we also need to understand how government works. When you hand over an office, the reasonable thing to do is to allow the person who has taken over the office to run the office without your interference or lingering around to look like you want to interfere. So when I handed over the county government, I also handed over this program to the county government. And they have been running the program from the 25th of August to date. So when parents raised the issue, I could not speak about it because, one, there was a petition to county assembly. And there is a myriad of allegations that were said. The matter was referred to EACC and DCI. If I attempted to even discuss or try and intervene, it would have looked like there is something I'm trying to cover. So what did I do? I keep quiet. I expect the governor to provide leadership. And if there's an issue, call me as the former governor. If there are issues they don't understand, sit at the table and say, we have been able to run this program for 1 year. We are experiencing challenges here. We need you to help us explain because you are the initiator. And there are things that I cannot run away with myself. And you people know me. I stand by what I do. And I am responsible for all my errors of commission and omission. I cannot run away. I initiated the program. I would have expected naturally the governor to call me for a meeting and say, now there are these issues. If I have not called, I cannot bring myself. I cannot speak about it so that I don't look like I'm interfering. But when the governor went to the press and said, Kila mtu abebe mzigo yake, I absolutely agree with him. I will carry my cross to the extent that I handed over the office at the 25th of August, 2022. I have told you the amounts that were in the account. But, as a responsible leader, now that the governor has invited me to this debate, we cannot have parents demonstrate and then the governor runs away. The deputy governor sneaks through the fence. What if it were me? And the good thing, you guys have been with me for 10 years. We have gone through demonstrations of workers together. We have gone through the demonstrations of health workers together in this town. You never saw me running away. I have expected the governor or the deputy governor to invite those parents who are demonstrating and tell them, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Let's have a discussion. Let the parents raise their issues. And if the parents raise issues and say, we have this problem, we want the former governor who is the senator to come and address. Then after discussion with the parents, you state the way forward and say, one of the way forward, we are inviting former Governor Jackson Mandago, the senator of this county, for a meeting on this particular day to discuss these matters and explain to parents. Because I am ready to look at those parents in there and ask them, any single parent who says, I told them that this program will be paid by the county. Therefore, because I have been invited in this, and I cannot run away, I am a leader in this county. Even if I am not a leader, I am a resident of this county. I believe in this program that it is still a transformative program that can help our young people. I am asking the governor to call for a meeting. Invite the parents or the representative, because I am told after I left office, the parents were grouped into parents of a particular college and program, and those parents have a leadership. Then let's have a meeting and resolve this problem. I cannot allow myself a situation where parents and students are being tossed up and down and nobody wants to take responsibility. And if the governor cannot convene a meeting, I will convene the meeting myself, so that we put the matter to rest. Number two, if truly the governor says he doesn't know the program, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you, when the petition was sent to county assembly, and the county assembly made a report, what did the county government do? The governor himself, in a press statement, suspended staff who are operating the program. What happened with the program? It was moved from the Department of Education to the office of the Deputy Governor. The governor himself has traveled to Canada to the same universities. And go back to his clips. What did he report when he came back? Or what are the statements that are available that was written in his Facebook? The governor has been to the Canadian embassy, he has been to the Finnish embassy. The deputy governor, and I want to congratulate Barrow, because I think he had an idea of what this program wanted to achieve. When there was a problem with the students in Canada, they were able to engage those universities and they made progress. That is how to provide leadership. When there are challenges, sit, engage the institutions, provide the solution. I am aware that there are some processes that the county government were engaged in to make sure that this program still runs. But it is not in my purview to speak about it if they didn't want to speak about it. So finally, gentlemen, let me say for the record that as the senator of this county, we cannot allow parents to suffer. Because the governor had not invited me for any meeting from when I left office to discuss this matter. And as he invited me through a press, I've also said now the record straight, because I said let Mandago come and say what he knows. I've said what I know. But even after saying all that I know, the most important thing to me as the senator of this country, and the pioneer of the program, and it's a program I still believe in. And gentlemen, you can see even what the national government is doing through the diaspora program. They are engaging other countries to seek opportunities for young people. It's just another 2-3 days ago, the president was engaging the Iran government to get 10,000 workers. In the course of time, last time, Kenya government was engaging UK to get 100,000 nurses. I think I should be patted on the back for initiating this program to the extent that we now have a diaspora program in national government to seek opportunities for young people. One of the assets we have in this country that has not been exploited, and I want to thank our president for exploiting this asset, is the number, the thousands of well-trained, skilled young people in this country that we can export to other countries. And you all know, part of the leading foreign exchange earner are the remittances from Kenyans who are outside this country. It's almost overtaking tea and coffee. I still believe in this transformative program. I am ready as a pioneer and the senator of this county to sit with the governor and his team, with the team that is currently running the program, and he should invite the ones who are suspended and the parents, so that we discuss where there were challenges. Let us pick the problem, and whoever is responsible, we get whoever is responsible. Finally, I know the matter was taken up by EACC and DCI. I'm also saying, I, as Jackson Mandago, the senator of this county, I am available anytime when called to explain, to write a statement, or to do anything for this program. Because I am very forthright and clear in my mind that, one, contrary to what people say that I took this money, I never took any money. And you all know, I have never failed in my life as a government to honor any summons anyway. At least it is known. Therefore, anybody who is making wild allegations there, I am inviting them to take the matter to TCI. I am available. I am reachable anytime, so that nobody thinks that we are being protected and so forth. You heard the other day there were allegations on issues of first choice and so forth. When they appeared before the Senate, and we asked them, okay, state how county government that I was running was linked to this. There was nothing. The owner of first choice ordered and said we had no relationship with the county government other than me appearing in a function that I or my capacity as the governor of that county in the presence of a cabinet secretary. There was nothing else beyond that. But for this program, I have said time and again, when called upon, I'm available. So I think I want to stop there, ladies and gentlemen. In my response, and I really want to urge the county government and the governor to convene a meeting so that we resolve. Trying to politicize this is not going to help anybody. And I have always said again, time and again, please, for those who want to fight Mandago politically, you know I'm always ready. And I have no problem absolutely. Because the seat I sit on as a senator is a political seat. And you only acquire through a political process. But I want to urge them that when we are dealing with sensitive matters that affects young people and parents of this country, let's leave politics out of it. Let's go for the real substance, and let's go for the real problem, and let's solve the real problem. If you want to fight, it is possible. I mean, you've seen countries who disagree because of bilateral issues. But when engagements are done and matters are clarified, and where there were errors, they are rectified, it is possible to restore. One of the things I just want you to know is that our students are not just our students. Actually, Kenyans out there in Finland and most of those other countries have done extremely very well in terms of character, discipline, and work ethics. And therefore, we have a good relationship in terms of the character of our people who are already there. These administrative issues that arose, I'm very, very confident that if we engage the embassy and the immigration and the administrations of those universities, we can be able to restore this. And this is what I'm alluding to, that the deputy governor had already initiated and had some good measurable progress that only needed support and political goodwill. You are working with the university and the immigration process. Initially, we had a very, very smooth process where when we made payments to universities, and universities provided proof of payment to the embassy. And we took our students to the embassy after fulfilling the medical requirements, visa application, and all those other things. The visa process would take 2 weeks. And we would have visas for about 70 students, 50 students. After the interference now, and again, let me tell you, Kenyans, sometimes we shoot ourselves on the foot. After some students just decided to become naughty and begin writing to the embassy and so forth, then the immigration again now had to make some additional requirements. Whenever requirements are added, it takes another more time to do the process. That is why the initial ones used to take 2 weeks, then we realized it was beginning about 3-4 weeks, then it has taken another 2 months, and finally, it is what we have witnessed. If people had stuck to the rules of the game as agreed, I can assure you we would not be in the mess we are in. But I know, because personally I engage those universities. And I can tell you, the administration of those universities are very, very serious people. They are very committed. If we engage them with serious commitment and making sure that every partner honors their part of the agreement, we can restore these relations and these students